13 love, 13 knowledge, 13 wisdom, 13 respect. This is your creation 13. And this is the next level. The world is reaching this next level. And as people worship the ball literally right now, like in about 10 minutes or so, it's about the new year. And people are going to see the ball raise up to the top and then drop all the way back down to the very beginning, to the root of everything, resetting everything that took place. It's good to reflect on life, but if something is reminding you to reflect on life, you should question that. You should always reflect on your life as much as you can. And a lot of times, you have to reflect. You're forced to reflect on life. So then you can learn and grow. I continuously learn all the time, right? And I continuously climb the mountain. I never drop my ball. I continue to climb that mountain over and over again. If there's one mountain to climb, you get to the top, there's going to be another mountain to climb. You're going to get to the top of that one, another mountain to climb, so on and so forth. You're never dropping down. And that's the key thing, is you learn to mature in life. But because of the programs of this reality, the new year, right, it really brainwashes people. And with that brainwashing creates a false narrative that you can start over. Like it's like a timer that you start over. Oh, January 1st, you can start over, right? Something's telling you that you can start over. When your spirit guides tell you, hey, it's time for a new journey. It's time for that. It could be in September. It could be in June. It could be in March, right? There's a new journey that unfolds, and it can happen any day, any day. And that's where you have to learn between the programs of the world, the ways of the world, and then your soul, your spirit, and the guides and guardians that help you along the way, right? The next level. So as people are resetting themselves and setting goals, and then they'll go to the gym for like a month in January, and then February things just kind of die down, and life continues on. Because a lot of times in January people go on vacation, people are laid off. There's just a lot of things that happen that make it seem easy to start new goals. But at the end of the day, once February hits, life hits, and things get busy again. So then people lose their goals, right? But you should always be setting your goals every day. Every day is a new day. And that's how I continue my journey, is looking at those every day. And then when my spirit guides, Christ, tell me, hey, this is a journey that's taking place, or a deep spiritual journey that teaches you the deep values of life, and teaches you about, about just living in the presence and moment. And even if it feels lonely, or even at times like it can be scary, you learn the value of life, the time of life, and celebrating life around you, right? Because you never know when someone's time is up and they're ready to move on, right? I've learned a lot of things past, I think, 4 or 5 months since September. September was an interesting starting point that allowed me to step back, right? Because I knew Christ was getting ready for the next level for me, but I needed to learn some really deep things before continuing on. And it's so very interesting it's a couple minutes before New Year's, but that's when my journey began back in 2009. I saw this in December. I saw this newspaper and it was talking about the spiral in Norway, and that clicked with me. So in January, up to January, I just was starting to look at all the um, things in my life that really got me interested in the skies and the stars and the planets, as well as um, my religious background, and just deeply researching about spirits and communicating with Christ and all these things. So when January hit in 2010, I came home from work and I saw Christ and these deities just sitting at my table or at my computer desk. And they said, hey, we're going to teach you about the ways of the world. So now we jump back to 2025, and I've shared my journeys throughout the years, but I really got hit with a lot of learning about the ways of the world was just a continuous thing, right? And you continuously evolve and grow and mature if you choose to. And that's the problem with this New Year thing every time. And I always made a video every year, and I kind of fell away from that. But but that's where people fall short, and when the ball drops is because they forget. They think that they have to forget about everything that happened, but you want to embrace everything. All the stuff that I've learned throughout since 2010 to now has been just mind-blowing, right? Because what did Christ tell me? 2010, you're going to learn about the ways of the world, but he never said how long that journey of learning about the ways of the world would take, right? And when I went through that journey again in September, whew, man, that was really rough, really, really rough. But Christ told me I need to take a step back. You're learning about those final steps, right? And as December was approaching, the term the next level kept popping up. I was like, okay, I know I'm going to be making videos again. What are we looking at here? We want to keep it real, we want to keep it raw, and we want to be honest with the people. Because I don't know about you, but I am really tired of listening to people talking about the same thing over and over again and jumping on a train of repetitiveness. Somebody will start a trend, and it's just a continuous narrative. And I've learned that a lot. Sharing continuous narratives without any real and raw material of the self, right? Because at the end of the day, the journey is you. And the ultimate goal is to mature and rise up to the next level, right? Because the goal should be the ascending process. And that's the whole process of the Bible is teaching you how to ascend. Starting from your feet, the ground, when that ball drops to the ground, right? Starts all the way down to the root again. And then it works its way up. That ball rises up. And you're going through a journey through your body, right? Jacob's ladder. Going through the journey in your body. And the goal is to get to where Jacob got. He wrestled with God. Wrestled with creation within here. The mind and the imagination, the magi, the magical realm of creation, right? Because what do I say? This is your creation 13, the 0 point. And that's the goal, is to reach here. So every time December 31st hits and the ball's all the way up there, you're in your creative mindset because you've learned a lot through the journey. But someone keeps telling you over and over again, oh, you got to start over. Got to start over. Forcing you to start over when you're still on a journey, right? My New Year's was September, right? And it's interesting because it really is around that time frame. It really is the new year in September, according to the Ethiopian calendar. Um, but it's learning your process and where you're at. There's so many things that I've been learning about the self, um, so many ways and techniques of learning how to deal with different emotions, to deal with um, communication with spirits, right? Because that's another thing about religion that they don't that they selective a narrative. They select a narrative for you, but you can't think outside the box of that narrative. It's time to break that box, right? Break that box and get down to the root of things. Because we're all universally connected in this reality, right? In this realm. But we are connected in other realms as well. The multiverse, right? And my daughter, she blows my mind all the time because she just had a dream, literally, I think it was yesterday or day before, and she's like, Dad, I had this dream about this uh, fluffy pink creature. And then she said something about, hey, we're jumping timelines, and she was seeing two different timelines, and she needed to jump on a timeline in her dream, right? And she's learning this stuff, and it's so nice to be able to give her answers for those, right? Because a lot of times people fall into their narrative and don't quite understand it. So it's where you have to reset yourself to the next level, break those boxes so you can get down to the to the 0 point of things, right? That 13th level, that 0 point, so you can begin to understand the multiverse, understand the creative narrative of things, because we live in a narrative. No matter what, there's a story unfolding. There's a big story unfolding, and your life journey unfolding, right? As well. So we all are entangled in this web of narratives. But ultimately, honesty is key. Being authentic is key. And keeping it real and raw is very rare from people, right? There's people I know that just don't like to keep the realistic perception of things. They feel they have to fall back on a narrative at the end of the day. And like I said, this is next level stuff, so some of you guys may have lost right there. But at the end of the day, right, you got to question why you can't reach a goal or continue on, right? Me personally, as I go through life, there's things that are out of my control, right? And it's understanding things, right? And then understanding them and then overstanding them, right? Just like I got sick, right? I got a cold or something that just took me out. So I was working sick, and then I had to call in because I was so sick I needed to just sleep. And about a week and a half later, I'm feeling a lot better. But with that comes a lot of downtime. You can't work out like you want to, and no matter how much you want to do the extra stuff, sometimes you have to just take a step back and realize, that there's things that unfold that are out of your control, but happens for a reason. And while sickness isn't fun, when it's over, you feel a lot more stronger and healthier after it's done because it builds your immune system, right? I don't take anything when I'm sick, nothing at all. I try just to eat as much food and soup and vitamins and protein vitamins, a lot of things to keep my body going, and then just go through it. And then once your body produces enough antibodies then your body becomes stronger. And that's the thing, because there's so many people that take medication and try to numb the way things are going, but you want those antibodies to build your immune system because it's very important at the end of the day. So it's just a learning about those values, self-values of your life, right? And becoming stronger at the end of the day. Man, so this video is kind of all over the place. I was wanting to keep it simpler, but there's just so much to talk about, and keeping things real and raw is so very important. And finding out who you are is important outside a narrative, right? You know, there's so many people that focus on a narrative, they lose touch with their own story, their own journey, right? I embrace my journey. It's not easy. There's definitely drama that comes up, and there's spirits that manifest themselves through people, and that's a trippy stuff, but we got to be real and honest with that. You can see it happen, right? There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes, and it's catching it, being aware of it, and then you can even interact with it, and that's the trippy part. But when you do, then they catch themselves. They're like, whoa, hey, they noticed me, and then they usually end up jumping off the person or hiding within that person again, and that's very interesting. This world is very magical. It really is, and with it being a multiverse of things, which is why it's so important to continue to climb that mountain, you can continue to see through it. And as we continue this journey on these videos, we're going to be discussing a lot of different things of the next level, you know, from the drones to physical ET contact, or, you know, just learning about all the underground bases and other genetic research of things. So it's going to be really hard to say what happens, but I do know between 2025 to 2028 is going to be a journey. 2030, you'll see what the narrative and the agenda is, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. But the most important thing is to learn about, continue your journey, don't drop the ball, continue to elevate that self, stick with wrestling with God, staying with the kingdom of heaven within you, the creative mindset of things, and continue to live outside the world, right? And it can be scary at times, and that's what I was showing in September, that when you live outside the world, you really realize and become self-aware, just like the movie The Matrix, right? You have all these people, but they're all CPUs, and then you really just kind of just get hit hard of like, whew, you're all alone, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? So when you reach that state, then it's like, oh, okay, now I really know I'm in a matrix, and I know it's very important to continue to change the timelines, and it can simply just be changing your background. And I know my background is still the same, but there's the chess game is continuously unfolding in my life, and I want to share it with the next level and help you guys elevate yourself. And we're going to go deep, really, really deep. And the stuff that I feel is too deep will end up being on Patreon. I got to clean that up as well. So then I can do just Patreon only videos, and those are going to be the really deep and raw videos that are going to be for those who want to learn, who want to go to the next step. and it will really build questions in your life. And those videos I feel need to be private, so then those who want to have a deeper next level journey, those videos will be there for you. So I'll be working on those as well. It's going to be challenging. I do know that, because life does happen and things happen. But I'm going to do to the best of my abilities to get this stuff going. And the reason why I started videos in 2011, I think, is when I started videos. It might have been mid 2010, something like that. The main reason why I started videos was because of that journey, that mind-blowing journey of learning about the ways of the world, and then just getting hit hard with all of these downloads and all this information that I was learning in here, right? Learning from Christ, not from books. I don't read books. I read comics. I got X-Men right behind me over here. But it's learning to take that next level, because there's so many people that don't understand how to learn like Christ did, right? Christ said he only learned from the Father. So what does that look like? It's not from a book. It's in here. People got to realize what that means. I only listen to the Father, the book within, right? And that's the next level right there. So I'm just rambling on, but there's a lot of things to discuss, and as people drop the ball, there's going to be very few of you that don't drop the ball and want to go to the next level. And a lot of people are waking up and they want answers, and they want honest, raw answers. Not just, hey, go to this or go to that. Or keep a selective narrative, and you can't have a conversation with that person when that selective narrative is set, right? Because you'll ask questions or generate a question, and people just won't be able to think outside their box. And that's been the biggest thing that I've noticed a lot, and a lot of hindrance in creating friendships because of that, right? Because people can't think outside the box. They gotta keep and maintain their narrative, and continue to play in that program. So that's where I come in, the next level. And that's where you guys come in as well, because I'm not the only one on the journey of the next level. There's quite a few of us that are learning and expanding. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and leave it on that. This is definitely a new start for me. It's just like starting all over again. And I know challenges will happen, but at the end of the day, I will bust out as much videos as I can to get you guys to the next level, and then we'll go from there. So love yourself, keep shining bright, hold on to that ball, keep it up here, don't drop it, keep it up here, and we're going to keep on rising, right? We're going to learn about this together, and as narratives play out in this reality, it's our job to watch it and change it to the best of our abilities, so we can get on the best timeline, and see things unfold in a great way, that can elevate our creativity, and elevate a sense of unity as well. So, man, there's just so much stuff, man. So, love yourself, keep shining bright. I'll talk to you guys later.